Ever since we opened our doors in 1964, Davis Ford in Fulton has been committed to providing the highest level of customer service and customer satisfaction. That level of commitment is shown in our 18 Ford President's Awards for overall customer experience. Whether you're looking for a tune-up, a trade-in, or a new F-150, the team at Davis Ford is here to serve you. Come see us today in Fulton. Call us at 662-862-3711 or visit us online at davisfordsales.com. Davis Ford, small-town dealership, small-town prices.
And welcome back to the Davis Ford Pregame Show. We're joined now by head coach Sean Cannon. Coach, before we talk about Northwest, talk a bit about last week and that home win over Holmes.
Yeah, we, typical kind of what I said, last week, you look at their first half, they had been playing pretty good football, it'd be a 7-0 game, 10-0 game, and then so we was able to weather the storm. I think that's 6 or 7 weeks in a row we had 14 points at halftime, and not a lot of touches offensively, and that was one thing that, us blocking the punt there, on the first drive and having to go back out on defense and, those guys just basically holding the ball for the whole first half. And so I thought it was a very important part of the game for us to get those points right there, right before halftime to go up 14. And then credit the special teams there to getting the 14 points that we scored there, and then having to scoop one up on defense. And so anytime you can complement your offense with scoring points on defense and special teams, it's going to help your team in general. But I thought it was a great win for our kids, and to be able to come off, you could say maybe distraction week with fall break and no class going on and things like that. But I thought they come out and battled and won a good game at home.
All right. Well, end of the game last week, meeting with the team on the field, I heard you say, next week we got a big opportunity, and here we are. About to hit the road to Senatobia to face number 9, hitting the road for the third time in as many years as well. Talk a bit about some of the challenges and the way you've prepared your guys for this Northwest team.
Yeah, you kind of got to flip the script a little bit defensively. You go from last week playing dive and quarterback and pitch, and now you got to go back to, defending base football, with stretch runs and inside zones and counters and things like that. And and so it's a little bit different challenge for you, but very familiar with these guys. They've had the same coaching staff over there for a while, and so you kind of got a little you're a little familiar with scheme wise what they do, and and then defensively, they've done a good job this year of holding opponents. You look at last week's win they had against Gulf Coast was big for them. Going down on that long bus trip and coming away with a win, and but we know all about them. A lot of our guys know a lot of their team members, and we're very familiar with them, and so it's always a great game we get together. Like I said, like you said, last I guess it'd be the third year in a row we've been over there. Last year we went over there and in the rain game we had there. I think it was our first game coming back. And then we was over there 2 years ago and be able to, come away with a victory. So, but we're looking forward to getting out there. It's a great environment over there they have to play in, and so it should be a great night of football.
Okay, now let's talk about a little bit about our defense, how we're preparing, because I know their quarterback is one of the best in the nation statistically. So, talk about some of how you guys are preparing to stop the pass as well as the run.
You look at their quarterback, he's very efficient. I don't think he's thrown a pick this year. His touchdown, I think he's got 12 touchdowns with no interceptions. But the things that they do scheme-wise, they're going to keep 7 in and protect. They're going to keep their tight end and running back in and protect and go throw 3-man routes. Their slot receiver, number 4, Sheffield, is a good playmaker for him. I think he's right at 30-something, a little over 30-something catches, and I think the next guy under him is like 19 or 20, and so they really make no bones about who they want to get the football to, and there are a lot of formations. They give you a lot of formation in the boundary, and play a lot of different personnel groupings, and sometimes that tight end can be in the backfield, it can be on the line of scrimmage, it can be a receiver, and so that does create a little bit of problems for you as far as figuring out where they're going to be and how you're going to defend certain formations that they're going to give you and everything, a lot of motions and things. And so, a lot of teaching this week on our part. We had a lot of walkthroughs before practice just to make sure before we see it in practice that we know, kind of what we need to make sure we're defending this week and everything. And so, but they're a good football team. They're 5-2 and I think they got beat by Jones. East Mississippi was two, highly ranked teams, 1-3 or 1-4, whatever they are in the country. And so, good football team, but we're up for the challenge defensively to go out there and but you got to make them one-dimensional. That's the biggest thing. I thought, last year, going over there, we did a pretty good job stopping the tailback. They hit us on a couple of big plays, and that was really it. After that, we kind of settled down and everything, and so you got to keep the ball in front of you and be able to make them, try to make them one-dimensional for sure.
Okay, well, let's talk a bit about their defense and how Coach Cook and the offensive coaches are getting these guys ready to face that Northwest defense.
Yeah, a little bit different. They're in the past, they've always kind of had a dominant pass rusher. It's what you always think about Northwest. They're going to play those defensive linemen inside the A gap and B gap, and they're going to have that one guy on the edge to the boundary. It's going to kind of give you problems in the pass protection type of deal. But this year they've kind of changed a little bit of scheme. They're playing more of a same kind of front, but they're kind of playing more what we call an umbrella defense, where they're going to try to keep everything boxed in. They play a little bit more looser on the perimeter and everything. They will still do the same things they've normally done, but it's kind of more now. They play a lot of defensive backs, and linebacker type bodies, and so they're going to try to keep the ball funneled, keep it from running inside, try to run the ball outside, run it down with their speed, and so, where we have not had real great success this year is, running up the middle and everything, and so we're looking at, last couple of weeks we've had pretty good success trying to get the ball on the perimeter, to some of our speed guys and try to get their eyes going in one way, keep them going that same way, and all of a sudden come back and hit them where they're not, and so I think what we're going to be able to try to do tonight is try to keep them off balance and everything, and then you look at the last couple of years that we played them, we've they've done a good job of, stopping us, all of a sudden we'll pop a big play. I remember Quay last year took the screen there, to go up that first touchdown, and then we popped them on the short yardage package there, a couple of years. And so, that's the thing we got to be able to do is mix up what we do, mix up our looks, mix up our formations and personnel groupings, and be able to catch them off guard.
Okay, well, you touched on a lot of it there already, but let's give our Bank of Oklahoma's keys to victory tonight against Northwest.
Yeah, big division game, and these games we've typically played them even dating back to, 16, 17. We've always had plays that are made that didn't know they were going to be made. You look at 2 years ago there, they snapped the ball over their head on the punter. We get the ball on the one, and we put it in the end zone, and then I remember right there before the end of the game, we popped a pass on Woods, that caught a wide open touchdown. And so I think we got to be able to, weather that storm early, because we know they're gonna fly around the football, but being able to take advantage of things that they give us, and that's typically what's happened here. You go back to the 17 year, we returned the kickoff return there. We had the interception on the first play of the game by Jarvis that went up 7-0, and so we've got to make our own breaks, and that's probably one of the biggest things. They have not turned the football over this year very much, and so we got to force their quarterback into turning the ball over. Give us some opportunity to score. Staying off the field on third down and staying on the field when we have third downs. And I thought that was one of the big things last week, and sometimes, Holmes would self-inflict themselves with penalties, but we were still able to get off the field when we need to get off the field, and get them into long yardage, and be able to manage those third down and shorts, third and mediums, to try to make those first downs, and so if we can do those two things, stay on the field and get off the field, that's only going to help our cause as well, and then the third thing is probably going to be in the special teams. You go back every year that we played these guys, the special teams play has come into factor in some form of fashion. Whether it was a field goal attempt, whether it was a punt inside the 10, whether it was a snap over their head, whatever it was, we've always had some kind of special teams play. I remember going back to thinking that same year, I think we ended up blocking 2 kicks on that same year, and so we've always found a way to make some plays on special teams and things like that, and so we got to be able to make our breaks on the kicking game as well.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for your time and best of luck tonight, and we'll be back with more right after this on the Davis Ford Pregame Show.
Playing on tour takes years of dedication, hours of practice, focused precision, and nerves of steel. That's how you become great at the game, but not how you should bank. That's why Allie Ewing chose Renaissance Bank. Their easy-to-use app makes banking a breeze, no matter where she is. Renaissance Bank, understanding you.